Ramadan is the month of blessings and forgiveness. Ramadan is the month of blessings and forgiveness. Ramadan.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidil Anbiya'i wal Mursaleen. Amma ba'd. Fa'a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Salatu wassalamu alayka ya Rasulallah. Salatu wassalamu alayka ya Habiballah. Salatu wassalamu alayka ya Nabiyallah. Wa ala alika wa ashabika ya Nurallah. Dear viewers of Madani Channel, welcome back to an episode of our series, The Virtues of Ramadan. Let's start our episode by listening to an excellence of reciting Salat ala Nabi sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam. The final Prophet of Allah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam has stated, "Wherever you are, recite Salat upon me, for your Salat reaches me." Subhanallah Azza wa Jal. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam. Dear viewers of Madani Channel, before listening to this episode, let's make some good intentions. The Holy Prophet of Allah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam has stated, "Niyatul mu'mini khayrun min amali." That is, the believer's intention is better than his action. Remember, whenever you do any righteous or permissible work, remember to do more and more good intentions. Before listening to this episode, firstly make the intention that you will listen to this episode till the very end to gain the pleasure of Allah Azza wa Jal. Whenever you hear Sallu ala al-Habib, you will recite Salat ala Nabi sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Dear viewers of Madani Channel, on the 17th of Ramadan, it was the day of Sayyidatuna Aisha Siddiqa Tayyiba Tahira radiyallahu ta'ala anha. We heard an introduction in yesterday's episode. In today's episode, inshallah, we'll hear about the blessed companions of the Battle of Badr. On the 17th of Ramadan al-Mubarak, in the expedition of Badr, 14 honorable companions, that is 6 Muhajir and 8 Ansar, were martyred. Let us hear about their status and greatness. It is stated in verse 11, Surah Al-Mujadala, part 28, translation of Quran, Kanzul Iman, "O believers, when you are told to make space for your brothers to sit in gatherings, so make space. Allah will give you space by giving you respect and prosperity. And when it is said, stand up for salah or jihad, then stand up. Allah will raise the ranks of the excellent believers amongst you and those who have been given knowledge. And Allah is aware of your deeds." The Holy Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam used to honor the Muhajir, that is the migrant, and the Ansar, that is the helper companions that participated in the expedition of Badr. One day, some honorable companions of Badr arrived at a gathering when it was completely full. They stood in front of the beloved Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam and said salam. The Holy Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam replied to them. Then they said salam to all the attendees and they replied too. They then stood there waiting for some space to be made for them, but no one offered them space. The beloved Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam was hurt by this. So he sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam made the ones sitting close to him move so that the companions of Badr could sit there. Those who were told to move found this difficult upon themselves. Then this verse was revealed. "O believers, when you are told to make space for your brothers to sit in gatherings, so make space. Allah Azza wa Jal will give you space by giving you respect and prosperity. And when it is said stand up for salah or jihad, then stand up. Allah Azza wa Jal will raise the rank of the excellent believers amongst you and those who have been given knowledge. And Allah Azza wa Jal is aware of your deeds." Dear viewers of Madani Channel, from the cause of the revelation of this verse, we come to know that leaving a seat for the righteous people and to honor them is permissible. In fact, it is a sunnah, so much so that they will be honored in the masjid. In the hadith, it has been commanded to honor Islamic leaders and teachers. The Holy Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam has said, adopt humility before those from whom you acquire knowledge and those who teach you knowledge, and do not become an obstinate scholar. Honoring old people and looking out for them is very beloved to Allah Almighty. The Honorable Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam said, honoring an old Muslim, honoring a memorizer of the Holy Quran that does not exaggerate in the Holy Quran beyond the limit and acts upon its commandments, and honoring a just king is included in honoring Allah Almighty. Fortunate are those individuals who honor the scholars, Islamic leaders and righteous individuals, and misfortunate are the people who mock scholars and righteous people and destroy their hereafter in the same all freedom. In the name of freedom. Dear viewers of Madani Channel, Allah Almighty mentioned a great favor of His in the Holy Quran. Let us hear about this great favor. Allah Almighty states in verse 123 of Surah Ali Imran, part 4, translation of Quran, Kanzul Iman, and indeed Allah helped you at the battle of Badr when you were completely without resources. So fear Allah that you may become thankful. Dear viewers of Madani Channel, here Allah Almighty is mentioning a great favor of His, that in the expedition of Badr, when the amount of Muslims was less and there was a shortage of weapons and ride animals as well, whereas the opposition and their weapons were greater in number, in such circumstances, Allah Almighty aided, that is, He helped the Muslims and granted them victory and success. The Battle of Badr took place on the 17th of Ramadan al-Mubarak, 2nd Hijri, on the day of Friday. There were 313 Muslims, whereas the enemies were around 1,000 in number. Badr is a well that was dug by a person called Badr bin Amir. The area was named Badr after him. This area is located between the honorable cities of Makkah and Medina. Dear viewers of Madani Channel, a belief of Ahl Sunnah is clearly proven from this blessed verse that angels descended for the aid of the Muslims in the Battle of Badr, as it is stated in the next few verses that angels fought in the Battle of Badr, they helped Muslims, but Allah Almighty is saying that their assistance was actually the assistance of Allah Almighty. We have come to know that when the beloveds of Allah Almighty assist people with His permission, then that is indeed the help of Allah Almighty. Therefore, the assistance provided by the Honorable Prophet ﷺ and the respected saints rahimahumullah ta'ala is indeed the assistance of Allah Almighty. It will not be labeled as kufr or shirk. Sallu ala al-Habib, sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad, sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Dear viewers of Madani Channel, in the Noble Quran, Allah Almighty has described the companions of Badr as being an embodiment of patience and God-fearing. This was also the reason why Allah Almighty aided them by means of His sinless angels and granted them victory and success. Allah Almighty states in verse 124, 125, Surah Ali Imran, part 4, translation of Quran, Kanzul Iman. Recall when you, O beloved, were saying to the believers, is it not sufficient for you that your Lord may support you by sending down 3,000 angels? Yes, why not if you display patience and piety and the disbelievers attack you suddenly? So your Lord will send down 5,000 distinctively marked angels to help you. Subhanallah Azza wa Jal, while motivating and encouraging the companions, the Honorable Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam said, keep your courage high. Is it not enough for you that Allah Almighty will send down 3,000 angels for your aid? After that he said, not only 3,000 angels, if you adopt patience and the fear of Allah Almighty, and then the enemies attack you, Allah Almighty will assist you with 5,000 angels. Subhanallah Azza wa Jal. This was the report of the unseen, which was fulfilled later, and due to the companions' patience and fear of Allah Almighty, Allah Almighty sent 5,000 angels who helped the Muslims in the battlefield. Subhanallah Azza wa Jal. Sallu ala al-Habib, sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad, sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Dear viewers of Madani Channel, there are a few things that we learn from this verse. Firstly, the Muhajir and the Ansar companions, radiyallahu ta'ala anhum ajma'een, who participated in Badr, were patient and God-fearing, because Allah Azza wa Jal had made patience and taqwa a condition for sending help. And because angels did descend on later, this proves that the condition was fulfilled. That is, the companions did adopt patience and the fear of Allah Almighty. Therefore, the Quran is a witness of the honorable companions radiallahu ta'ala anhum ajma'een being patient and God-fearing. Subhanallah Azza wa Jal. Secondly, we learn that the angels that came down in Badr are greater than the other angels because Allah Almighty placed special symbols on them by which they became more superior. This has been explained in the blessed ahadith as well, that the angels that descended in Badr are superior than the rest of the angels. Serving the beloved Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam and assisting those who fight in the way of Allah Azza wa Jal is an excellent form of worship, as these angels descended for the service of the Holy Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam and the aid of the companions radiallahu ta'ala anhum ajma'een, fighting in the way of Allah Almighty, and they became more superior than the rest of the angels. Therefore, the honorable companions radiallahu ta'ala anhum ajma'een of the Holy Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam are more superior than all the other Muslims, as they are the fortunate people who got to serve the Holy Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam. Observe this blessed hadith that also indicates towards the excellence of the martyrs of Badr. Sayyidina Anas radiallahu ta'ala anhu states, Sayyidina Harisa radiallahu ta'ala anhu was martyred on the day of the battle of Badr. His mother came to the beloved Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam and said, O Messenger of Allah Azza wa Jal, wa sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam, you know very well how beloved Harisa was to me. If he is in paradise, then I will be patient and hope for reward. And if, may Allah forbid, the situation is the opposite to this, then you will see what I will do. The beloved Prophet ﷺ replied, Woe to you, have you lost your mind? Does Allah Azza wa Jal have only one paradise? He has many paradises, and no doubt Harisa radiallahu ta'ala anhu is in Jannatul Firdaus. Subhanallah Azza wa Jal. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Dear viewers of Madani Channel, the companions of Badr are such high esteemed personalities whose status is very lofty. Understand their eminence from this, that the beloved Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam gave them the glad tidings of paradise from his own blessed tongue. The honorable Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam said, I am hopeful that those who were present in the expedition of Badr and Hudaybiyah, insha'Allah, none of them will enter hell. Subhanallah. The martyrs of Badr are those eminent companions radiallahu ta'ala anhum ajma'een who were granted the distinction of paradise being wajib for them from the elevated court of Allah Almighty. It is stated in the blessed hadith that Allah Almighty stated regarding the companions of Badr, do whatever action you want, for paradise has become necessary upon you. Subhanallah Azza wa Jal. Allama Maulana Mufti Amjad Ali Azami Rahmatullahi Ta'ala alayhi states, after the 4 Khalifas, the remaining of the 10 given the glad tidings of paradise, our masters Hassan and Hussein radiallahu ta'ala anhum, the companions of Badr and Bayt-e Rizwan radiallahu ta'ala anhum ajma'een have superiority, and they are certainly all dwellers of paradise. Subhanallah Azza wa Jal. Dear viewers of Madani Channel, one quality of the companions of Badr is that supplications are accepted with the blessings of their names. Yes, from among the occasions of supplications being accepted is when the person reaches the names of the companions of Badr when reading the renowned book Sahih al-Bukhari. Ala Hazrat Imam Ahl Sunnat Imam Ahmad Raza Khan Rahmatullahi Ta'ala alayhi states, dua is accepted when one reaches the names of the companions of Badr radiallahu ta'ala anhum ajma'een in the recitation of Bukhari Sharif. Hakimul Ummah Mufti Ahmad Yar Khan Naimi Rahmatullahi Ta'ala alayhi states, Imam Bukhari Rahmatullahi Ta'ala alayhi has mentioned the names of 44 individuals, that is the companions of Badr radiallahu ta'ala anhum ajma'een. The names of some have been mentioned separately at different places in various ahadith of Bukhari Sharif. Some names have not been mentioned at all. If the names of the companions of Badr radiallahu ta'ala anhum ajma'een are read and then supplications are made, insha'Allah Azza wa Jal, they will all be accepted. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Sayyidina Hassan Basri rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi states, by Allah Azza wa Jal, I have met 70 companions of Badr radiallahu ta'ala anhum, and the majority of them would wear clothes made out of wool. Had you seen them, you would think they were crazy. Had you seen your pious people, they would say, they have no share of goodness. Had they seen your bad people, they would say, it seems as if these people do not believe in the hereafter. Sallu ala al-Habib, sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad, sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Dear viewers of Madani Channel, did you hear how simple and humble the companions of Badr radiallahu ta'ala anhum ajma'in were? But alas, both of these blessed qualities are disappearing from our society, and arrogance, pride, luxury, and the impermissible fashion is replacing them. Indeed, these qualities are worthy of criticism. Therefore, if someone has these habits in them, he should be fearful of Allah Almighty, and he should make himself habitual of simplicity, humility, and humbleness, because the best of the world and the hereafter is achieved with the blessings of these qualities. Whereas pride and arrogance are fatal for a person in this world as well as in the hereafter. An excellent way of freeing yourself from these bad habits is to watch or listen to the weekly Madani Muzakara. In Ramadan, these Madani Muzakaras take place twice. Alhamdulillahi Azza wa Jal. There is an encouragement to watch and listen to the Madani Muzakara in the 72 Neek A'mal booklet as well. May Allah Azza wa Jal grant us the privilege to watch Madani Muzakaras regularly. Ameen. Bijahin Nabi Ameen sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Dear viewers of Madani Channel, in the month of Ramadan, specifically on the 17th, it is also the death anniversary of Sayyidatuna Aisha Siddiqa radiallahu ta'ala anha. Let's hear a little about her as well. Sayyidina Urwa radiallahu ta'ala anhu states, I have not seen a greater scholar of the Quran, inheritance laws, halal, haram, poetry, quotes of the Arabs and lineage than the mother of the believers, Sayyidatuna Aisha Siddiqa, Tayyiba Tahira radiallahu ta'ala anha. Subhanallah Azza wa Jal. Sayyidina Urwa radiallahu ta'ala anhu states, I have not seen a greater scholar than Sayyidatuna Aisha Siddiqa radiallahu ta'ala anha in poetry, medicine, and jurisprudence. Subhanallah. Sayyidina Abu Salma radiallahu ta'ala anhu states, I have not seen a greater scholar than the mother of the believers, Sayyidatuna Aisha Siddiqa Tayyiba Tahira radiallahu ta'ala anha, in the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Neither have I seen a greater jurisprudent than her in such a matter which requires a personal opinion. Nor have I seen a greater scholar than her in regards to the cause of revelation of the Quranic verses, and neither in the obligatory matters. Subhanallah Azza wa Jal. Sayyidina Abu Musa radiallahu ta'ala anhu states, whenever us companions of the beloved Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam found a matter difficult, we questioned Sayyidina Aisha Siddiqa radiallahu ta'ala anha regarding it and found the knowledge of it with her. Subhanallah Azza wa Jal. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Dear viewers of Madani Channel, we are hearing the excellence of Sayyidatuna Aisha Siddiqa radiallahu ta'ala anha. In Ramadan, there is also the urs of Amirul Mu'mineen, Sayyidina Ali karramallahu ta'ala wajhahul kareem. Let's hear a little about his qualities as well. Amirul Mu'mineen, Sayyidina Ali karramallahu ta'ala wajhahul kareem possessed many qualities. Sayyidina Ali karramallahu ta'ala wajhahul kareem possessed fear of Allah Almighty. He radiallahu ta'ala anhu is dear to everyone. He radiallahu ta'ala anhu possessed a gentle heart. He radiallahu ta'ala anhu spoke softly. He radiallahu ta'ala anhu was brought up under the care of the beloved Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. He radiallahu ta'ala anhu was someone who spent his life in the way of Allah Almighty. He radiallahu ta'ala anhu was a true worshipper. He radiallahu ta'ala anhu possessed piety and instructed others to adopt piety and righteousness. He radiallahu ta'ala anhu would remain in his company. Those who would remain in his company would also become pious. He radiallahu ta'ala anhu would listen to the statements about the fear of Allah Almighty from others. He radiallahu ta'ala anhu heard the words of the beloved Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam from his birth. He radiallahu ta'ala anhu gave great services for the elevation of Islam. He radiallahu ta'ala anhu is a door to acquiring the virtues of sainthood. He radiallahu ta'ala anhu is a remarkable and a very significant personality. May Allah Azza wa Jal also grant us a life of piety and righteousness for the sake of Sayyidina Ali karramallahu ta'ala wajhahul kareem, for the sake of Sayyidatuna Aisha Siddiqa Tayyiba Tahira radiyallahu ta'ala anha, and for the sake of the blessed companions of the Battle of Badr. Ameen. Bijahin Nabi al-Ameen sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Dear viewers of Madani Channel, keep watching Madani Channel. Inshallah, Azza wa Jalla, tomorrow we'll be back with another episode. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam.
Ramadan is the month of blessings and forgiveness. Ramadan is the month of blessings and forgiveness. Ramadan.